This other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now,
hey guys, today's video is something that I quite found interesting and I wanted to share it with you guys. And I know some of you are gonna be like, why are you talking about this? It doesn't concern you, like mind your business. But hey, I can't mind my business because whatever happens in the US affects every other nation, especially African nations. So this is really dear to me. And you know why? Because it's involving black people. So basically we have Barack Obama, who was lecturing, literally ordering black men to vote for Kamala Harris. Like he's mad why black men are not supporting a black woman, like they're being misogynistic. But like coming back to, let me say, as an African, I look back in the times on when Obama was in leadership. Of course, it was like an inspiration. It was a very, very big deal to us. It was something aspirational. Like it gave a lot of confidence to black boys, black men, African people, African girls that, oh, it's actually possible to be a leader of the world, like a black man to be a president of the US. Amazing. But then now that I look back at things and I'm like, but what did that black man do for black people? Because the only time I remember him coming, let's say, to African countries is when he was talking about the LGBTQ situation. He came to Kenya for that reason. He went to Zimbabwe, I think, and South Africa for the same reason. He is the same person in his leadership that, of course, took down Gaddafi of Libya. And I mean, we look at Libya today and how it looks like, and it's a black man that was in power, right? So he's lecturing and telling black men why they should and are supposed to vote for a black woman, for a black person. They should not mind about the policies of this person. They shouldn't question anything. They shouldn't care about anything, but they should vote because it's a black person that is being on the pole of being president. And it's just wild to me. Like, it's like he is looking at black men as dumb and stupid and literally asking them, why are you thinking for yourselves? You are supposed to vote for the Democratic Party. Literally, the Democratic Party owns black people. And if you don't vote for the Democratic Party, you either vote or you don't. But you cannot think for yourself. Who gives you the audacity to have a brain cell to think for yourself? Guys, this is what he had to say. And I mean, people came out and as well called him out for this behavior because it's really despicable and unacceptable.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods at communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to you all saying that a choice then is this clear. When on one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggle, pain, and joy that come from those experiences. Is there to work hard and overcome and achieves the second highest office in more.
To former President Obama, I understand the reservations he might have for the lack of enthusiasm and a lack of excitement for Kamala Harris as there was during his time when he was running as a presidential candidate. But I would say this, they're not the same candidates. Same way I would give up that there might be some men, some black men, who might be a victim of the patriarchy rather than actually not looking at Kamala Harris as a very qualified candidate. At the end of the day, though, you are not Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris is not you. Enthusiasm would be nice, but the numbers show that former President Barack Obama is speaking to the wrong audience, right? The stats show this. At every turn, on almost every single election, whether it's a presidential election or Senate seats, it shows that black men and black women, black people, period, turn out for the Democratic Party at a very high rate. The people you should be speaking to, you should be lecturing to, and having this same type of, I guess, energy towards are non-black people. But I guess this is where we are as far as what politics now, right? We're very far removed from changing anyone's mind, right? We're at the point now where we're just trying to make sure we don't lose where we have a strong hold, right? So we're trying to make sure that, the 85% of black men that used to vote for you doesn't change to 80. Because if that was not the case, President Obama would be at every single, conference where there's a majority white women and a majority white men, and would be pleading to them the same exact thing he's pleading to black men, which is, hey, Donald Trump didn't grow up like you. Kamala Harris, regardless of color, is the one that grew up more like you from this type of home and etc. But he's not doing that because we are low-key admitting something, which is America is completely divided, and we're just trying to make sure we don't lose an inch. We're not the group you should be talking to. There's a group you should be talking to. And the numbers show they're right there. Right there. That's where the split happens. Unfortunately, if we're keeping it real, they're the ones that decide the election.
So Barack Obama was in Pittsburgh and he had a few words to say about black men. Black men aren't excited to vote for Kamala Harris. We aren't excited to vote for her. Why do you think that, Barack? Is it because that she is drop step with one of the worst presidents we've ever had? Is it that she was the border czar and didn't do anything about the migrants coming over? Is it because she has to read from a teleprompter every time she does a rally or does something like that? Is it because black men are just saying, you know what, maybe I want to vote a different way? Why is it that every time we have an issue, you got to attack us, Barack? You don't do the white man like that. You don't do Asians like that. You don't do Hispanics like that. But when it comes to the black man, if we don't vote one way, then y'all want to attack us. Barack, just let us have our vote. If we want to vote Trump, we vote Trump. We vote hers, we vote hers. Just let us have our vote, honestly.
When I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio as he did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And as a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Walz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
But do you think, sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right that one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of a woman?
It might be some, listen, black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny maybe a part of it? But again, is President Obama and is the Harris-Walz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing black?
Let's talk about why Barack Obama went out and started complaining about how black men are not voting for Camilla. I hope I pronounced her name right. It's just like, I just feel like she's just talking, and I feel like she's not really considering the people that, no, I don't agree with the fact that we should abort a baby. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that we should own guns, because a lot of school shooting nowadays is due to parents having to own guns. And also, I feel like she's too focused on women. And I'm just like, okay, men matter too. Where are the policies that you're gonna change when you get, like, a lot of black men, they get shot because, like, due to police brutality. And I feel like she's not really talking about that. So I really feel like there's reasons as to why, Barack Obama should have went and talked and reasoned and actually went out and asked these black men as to the reason as to why they're not voting for her. I feel like they have some valid points. Like, she's really too focused on women, women, women. She should stop focusing on women, 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 and focus on both genders. Because a lot of times nowadays, it's all about women, 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 women. Enough is enough. Men matter too, especially black men. They matter too. I have not seen one president talk about, I'm gonna make this, and I'm gonna make sure, we investigate, we get into the police departments and talk about this and train them more. I'm not seeing none of that. So, well, I understand why black men are not voting for her. Mr. Barack Obama, you should not be complaining, sir. Me, I'm not voting for any of them because I don't agree with a lot of things that she's talking about. And I also do not agree with, Donald Trump because he's talking about immigration. And I'm just like, bye. All of them, I'm just going to say bye. Bye.
I would really like to know why, when it's election season, Obama sees fit to always punch down on black folk, and specifically black men. I am quite befuddled that somehow our community takes the rap for the Democratic Party's lack of reading the goddamn room. And when it comes to the conditions of black folks in the United States of America, no matter who has been in office or even held the majority of Congress, black people's conditions have stayed the exact same and in some areas have gotten worse. And then to use this trope as somehow black men just don't want to see a woman as president is absolutely insane. I have never once seen this party address white men and white women and their complicity in upholding the oppressive systems against black and brown folks in the United States. This is why I'm not mad at people opting out of voting, because we have literally fought for the rights of ourselves and everybody else in this damn country, and still the finger gets pointed at us. And at the same time, no one is ever willing to put in plans and policies that positively impact black people in America.
Barack Hussein Obama, the audacity of you to say to us that we are required and we better vote for Kamala Harris and that we don't want to see a woman in a position of power. You're a liar. I remember in June of 2010, I was in Baghdad, Iraq, and I watched your State of the Union address as a proud young black man to see a black president on the television. But I listened to you as you told the American people that we would not spend any additional resources in Baghdad or in Afghanistan, and we're going to bring our troops home in December of 2014. Right then and there, I knew you couldn't be trusted. Why? Because I'm watching them build sidewalks, build streets, and construct buildings in Baghdad, Iraq in 2010, as you say we're going to leave in 2014. So now that you get on a stage or a platform and try to bully us and belittle us and try to make the world believe that we're not intelligent enough to see what you and the demonic Democratic Party is doing, you're the biggest problem to black people, not the Republican Party. Just because our policies differ or our views differ or our perspectives and values differ, now you want to attack? No, Barack, you're a liar and you're a part of the problem.
My, have the tides shifted? Are you kidding me? Barack Obama. You coming out trying to shame black men into voting for Kamala? Are you freaking kidding me? You sound like a slave master trying to get your slaves back on the plantation. Well, Barack Hussein Obama, I always appreciated the fact that Obama, as an acronym, could also be mentioned. One big ass mistake, America. You didn't do nothing for the black community when you were in office. You pandered to the LGBTQ community, though. Oh, yeah, you pandered to them. You lit up the White House in rainbow colors and everything. What'd you do for the black community? What'd you do for America other than just inflame the race tensions in America? Yeah, that's right. You invited Black Lives Matter to the White House. You shamed Dallas police. You inflamed and stirred up racism in this country like nothing before. It wasn't Trump. It was you, Barack Obama. And now you have the audacity to try to shame black brothers to vote for Kamala? She ain't one of us. She's not pro-American. She's pro-illegal immigrant, period. Shame on you. I'm glad my black, brown, and white brothers and sisters are seeing right through you.
Will somebody tell Obama that the jig is up? That we do know he is an anchor baby immigrant, that he is not an indigenous black American, that he's a Kenyan American, okay? And that we don't need none of his lecturing, okay? He don't need to lecture indigenous black Americans, okay? Sit down, Obama. You don't need to try to blame and lecture black men because they don't want to vote for the current VP. You talking about Trump probably has never changed a tire. First of all, you don't look like you've ever changed a tire or have done an oil change your damn self. When you was in office, you gave to LGBTQ because that's who your donors was, and you gave to the Dreamers. You neglected the black people you claim you were from. Okay, so somebody please tell Obama to sit down. You're not in office anymore.
So it's one thing for Barack Obama to come out and be this, the person leading the effort to bring black male voters in. There's logic in that, and there's a reason why they asked him to do it and not someone else, right? But the way that he lectured them, yeah, it was super uncomfortable. It felt like lecturing and shaming. And Nina Turner makes a great point. Oftentimes when Democrats do this, the next stage of this is after they lose the election, then they turn around and blame them. And go, yeah, the black male vote cost us. It's their fault. No, listen to Oz. You have to earn their vote. That sense of entitlement is maddening, okay? So, but let me show you the numbers as to why this idea that black males are leaving the Democratic Party because they're sexist is wrong. Because we had another woman run for president against Donald Trump. That was back in 2016, Hillary Clinton. So what was the vote back then? Hillary Clinton won 81% of the black male vote in 2016. Donald Trump only won 14%. Okay, now how are they doing today? Well, black male voters who think Harris would make a good president is down to 66%, and percent of black male voters who think Trump would make a good president is up to 21%. So what happened? Did black males get more sexist in these last 8 years? No, of course not. It's not about, look, I'm not saying that there's no sexist guys out there that are not gonna vote for a female president. Of course there are, right? Are they largely in the other party? Of course, right? I'm not saying there aren't any Democrats that it affects, but that's not the thing moving these numbers. The thing that's moving these numbers is lack of delivery to this group. And so what are they looking for? Are they looking for extra rights? No, they're looking for the same thing everybody is. Jobs, better paying jobs, higher wages, better health care, and for you to take care of the average American. So that's what they're getting frustrated by.